Amazing news for you, Who Dat Nation. Your Pro Bowl center, Erik McCoy, he is likely to return this week versus the Cleveland Browns. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trace Girouard. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up icon, all that YouTube cliche stuff. But let's break this down because, guys, this is an amazing update, especially for a player of this caliber for New Orleans. Now, John Hendricks, he was putting out on social media that the New Orleans Saints actually waived Conor McGovern. And if you remember, the Saints actually brought him in whenever they waived A.T. Perry. McGovern ended up logging 369 snaps over the course of 6 games, 5 of those in which he started, and he only played at center. So you remember, Conor McGovern, shout out to you. I actually think he was okay. I would like to see him return on the practice squad. But if this isn't an indication that Erik McCoy is returning, what about from the head honcho himself, the Riz God, giving this update? Erik McCoy right now is certainly trending in the right direction. Everything is pointing right now to him coming back in Week 12, barring any setbacks. Now, at the time of filming this video on Tuesday, November 12th, around noon, around 11 a.m., I should say, Erik McCoy hasn't officially been activated yet, but I do believe that this is a move that will be coming very, very soon. And I will also add this, not only is it great news just in general because he's a good player and it's nice to have a guy like him back available on game day, but he was one of the top centers. Let me rephrase. He was the number one, the top center, according to PFF at the time of his injury. At Week 3, early in that Eagles game, Erik McCoy was the best center in the National Football League, according to Pro Football Focus. And here are those grades from PFF. An overall grade, he earned a 95.5, an 80.9 pass blocking grade. He was stellar against the run, didn't give up any sacks, and he was very, very efficient. The anchor of the offensive line, and honestly, the second he got hurt, everything started to come off the rails. And not only is this really, really good news, I want you to remember that 95.5 number right here on the overall grade. Look at how he ranks across the National Football League. Obviously, numbers are a little bit skewed because they've had more snaps, they played more games and whatnot. But Erik McCoy, 95.5. What's that number one? That's 91 points. Producer text, is 95 or 91 higher? Which number? Okay, 95 is higher. That's what I thought. So, I mean, statistically, you're getting back the best center in the National Football League, which is really, really good news. I think it comes at a perfect time, and I just want to welcome Erik McCoy back to the field. Type those 78s down in the comment section. Sound off, Who Dat Nation, and let's welcome back Erik McCoy because I'm super pumped. You should be super pumped. And before we get more into why this is really good news and also an updated look at the offensive line, got to give a big-time shout-out to a very certain player who honestly has been blowing me away. But before I do, got to give a big-time shout-out to Tushy Bidets, one of my favorite sponsors we have here at Chat Sports. A household full of holiday guests is a beautiful thing until you realize they're all endlessly wiping in your bathroom. Give your toilet a fighting chance by installing a Tushy Bidet. I love my Tushy, and at home, it took me less than 10 minutes to install. Tushy Bidets help clean up a pretty crappy situation, so maybe the Saints should look at installing some into their locker room. And y'all remember when Darren Rizzi said he clogged the toilet on his first game day against the Falcons? I promise you, he wouldn't have clogged the toilet if he had a Tushy in the coach's locker room. It's very easy to use. You just sit down, do your business, and then turn the knob for a refreshing stream of clean water. Once you're done, simply pat dry with toilet paper. People who have made the switch to Tushy have used up to 80% less toilet paper. No more clogged toilets. Save your money and your ass at the same time. Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code CHAT. And don't forget to give us a shout out while you're there and let them know we sent you. Go to hellotushy.com for the best gift this holiday season and keep that hiney shiny. So let's dive into the Erik McCoy PFF grades. This is how he ranked across all metrics according to Pro Football Focus. Like I said, very good against the run, very good against the pass, very good offensive lineman, 122 total snaps, and he only had 1 penalty, 1 hit allowed, 0 sacks, and 1 pressure. That is stellar from Erik McCoy. Now, obviously, considering they played against the Panthers and the Cowboys, who at this point in the season we're seeing they're not that good of football teams. But that doesn't mean that he isn't a good football player. He has been very, very talented, and he's been on an upward trajectory over the past couple of seasons. And in my personal opinion, I do believe that Erik McCoy is returning at the perfect time. When you take a look at the upcoming schedule, things actually are pretty decent. And when you look at how the offensive line shakes out now, it's actually pretty damn close to your starting group once again. You just switch out Lucas Patrick for Nick Saldiveri. Things are golden, pony boy. Nick Saldiveri, he was a draft pick that the Saints traded up to go and get not too long ago. Lucas Patrick, though, he was the starting guard, and he was really, really good as well. He's been dealing with an injury, missed last week against Atlanta. So if you're able to get Lucas Patrick back on the offensive line as a starter, get him healthy, I'm telling you right now, this offensive line will be the same that you saw those first 2 weeks when the New Orleans Saints were the highest scoring offense, the most productive offense, and had one of the best teams overall in the National Football League. And I just got to say, massive props to Trevor Penning. I want to send nothing but love, nothing but I'm sorry, nothing but, hey, I'm man enough to admit, not that I was wrong, but hey, I'm man enough to look past former bad football and look at what he's been doing this week. Trevor Penning had the highest PFF grade versus the Atlanta Falcons on the New Orleans Saints roster. And on top of that, among all offensive tackles in Week 10, his run blocking grade was number 1 in the league. His overall grade, number 1 in the league. He had 27 pass blocking snaps and 1 pressure allowed, 0 snaps. Sacks. I can't speak, man. I'm just so proud of Trevor Penning. He has been blowing me away so much that I can't even formulate a coherent sentence right now. Trevor Penning has been very, very good. It's nice to see his development continue to move in a positive direction. And despite a very ugly season and despite a lot of bad things happening this year in terms of trading away Marshawn Lattimore, 7-game losing streak, firing your head coach, he's been a pretty big bright spot. I will say that. There's still development that needs to continue to be there, but he is moving in the right direction. And when you look forward into the upcoming games, why is this a really, really good move as well, or really good news as well? Well, you have Week 11 for the Browns. To be honest, Cleveland's not that good of a football team. Jameis Winston returning to the Dome for the record. That'll be kind of fun. Week 12, you have a bye, though. So you play against a not amazing football team. You get a bye to kind of reset, and then you go up against the Rams, who yesterday, at the time of filming this video, this was filmed on Tuesday, November 12th. Yesterday, they lost to the Miami Dolphins. Week 14, you take on the Giants in MetLife, and then you bring Jaden Daniels and Marshawn Lattimore to the Superdome on my birthday, actually, a fun fact. So when it comes to those upcoming games, I think this is a really good stretch where you can get a win here, maybe try and steal a win against the Rams. You should be able to take care of business against the Giants. The Commanders are going to be a tough football team to take down, but I think that this is a prime opportunity for the New Orleans Saints to continue to build momentum around Darren Rizzi, around their defense, their offense, and getting back a healthy O-line. If you have a healthy O-line, everything gets way easier. Derek Carr has more time to throw the ball. Alvin Kamara gets better running lanes. Taysom Hill gets better lead blocking. Everything is better when you have a more quality offensive line. And when Erik McCoy is available, you have a better line. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you made it to the end of the video, we must be doing something right. So hit that sub button. And Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.